In this video, I'm going to be attempting to build a successful dropshipping brand using AI, and I'm going to be showing you exactly how I find my products, how I build my store, and how I run my campaigns. And at the end of the video, I'm going to show you the exact results that I get. So let's get straight into things. Okay, so in order to find a winning product, we're going to be using TikTok. And the first thing that we're going to be doing is coming over to the TikTok search bar and searching up TikTok made me buy it. And as you can see, it pops up right here. And then what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding some filters. So you can click on the top right and then select filters. Now, first thing that I want to do is I want to sort by like count. I don't really want to sort by relevance, especially if this is going to be a burner account for you. Okay, let's go video category, all that doesn't matter. Date posted, well, we want it to be within at a maximum the last month. Now we're going to search those filters and we're going to see exactly what comes up. Okay, so after about 15 minutes of scrolling, I found this product. Now this is a pet hair or fur remover. The reason why I want to choose this product is because summer's coming up and cats and dogs and other pets, they're going to start shedding like crazy. Another pro is that this is in the pet niche. Now, if you watch one of my other videos on picking a dropshipping product, you would have seen that one of the two niches that I always tell beginners to go to is the pet niche. Now, the other one is the health and beauty niche. But for this particular challenge, I'm going to go with this product right now and I'll play the ad for you.
Oh! Nope.
Okay, so that was part of the video, but now we actually need to validate the product and make sure that it's a winning product and the competition is actually making sales. Now, how do we do this? Well, for starters, I don't really want to judge off that one video because that video didn't particularly get too many views, likes, and shares. But if you scroll down, you can see that they actually get over 100,000 views a lot of the times. Like this one down here that has over 2.6 million views. So we can see that they're getting views, they're getting likes, and they're getting shares. Now I want to go over to Google Trends and actually see that there's a consistent growth and it's not just like a huge spike and then a drop. So let's get over there. Okay, so now that we're in Google Trends, all I'm going to do is come into the search bar and I'm going to search pet hair remover and see what pops up. Now, before I do anything, I need to edit the filters a little bit. So firstly, I'm going to be selling in the United States, so it's only fair that I look at the data within the United States. And instead of past day, I'm going to go 2004 to present. Remember, for this section, at a minimum, you want to zoom out for 5 years, but because there's enough data on pet hair removers, I'm going to go 2004 to present, which is the longest that I get right now. So as you can see, there is gradual growth. Obviously, it spiked over here. However, there is very consistent growth since 2004. So does this give me validation for the product? Well, based on the Google Trends analytics and our TikTok competitor, I'd say that this is a fairly good product to sell and it's coming at a very good time. So the ultimate question is this a good product to actually sell? Well, let's look at the facts and let's make sure that it hits all of my marks. Well, it is validated because the Google Trends analytics is consistently going up over time. There's no big drop or increase. Of course, there is right here, but overall, on a large enough scale, it is consistently increasing in the amount of searches that it gets. Additionally, our competitors are also doing very well in terms of views, likes, and shares. The next mark that the product needs to hit is it needs to solve a problem. Well, obviously, pet owners suffer from having a lot of hair or fur on their clothes, so does this solve a problem? Absolutely. The next thing that we need to make sure is that the product is lightweight. Well, obviously it is. Again, we just don't want to sell any products that are super heavy because it's just going to cause a lot of headaches when we have to deal with shipping. Can the product be sold all year round? Well, 100% it can be sold all year round, and it is. The last thing that we need to verify is that it has good margins, and to do that we actually need to go over to a dropshipping service to see if they have the product and what margins we can get for it. Okay, so now I'm in CJ Dropshipping and all I'm going to search for is pet hair remover glove. The reason why I want to search up glove is super simple. Well, I saw a glove in the video, so I want to sell a glove on my store. Okay, awesome. So as I'm seeing, the first one that pops up is the literal exact one that I saw in the video. So it also tells me that this person is most likely drop shipping the product. You can see that it's being sold for about $1.86. Now I don't know where that price just went, but we're going to call it $1.86. And they're also selling it in 1 piece, 2 piece, and 3 pieces, which means that we can most likely sell upsells. Now, you scroll down here, this is very important. Shipping is going to be $7.76, and we're going to configure that within the actual Shopify interface later on in this video. But what does that mean for this? Well, for starters, we can get it for super cheap, but I still need to know how much our competitors are selling it for, so let's do that right now. Okay, so the way I like to see exactly how much our competitors are selling the product for is just by going over to Amazon. So I can see here that they're selling the 2-piece pet hair remover for $16.99, and I do really like that. So maybe something that I'm going to do when I'm building out my store is I'm going to offer at a minimum 2-piece, and then I can also offer 3-piece and maybe 4-piece as a third option. Now, this means that we're going to get a fairly decent margin, especially after we factor in the price of shipping. So it does validate our margins. However, there are some things that I do want to be careful about because it can very quickly become very unprofitable for us, especially at a product that's priced this low. Now, the final thing that I want to keep in mind is that the exact product that we are going to be selling is on Amazon. So we need to have some ways of differentiating ourselves, or we need to price a little bit more competitively than Amazon. So we're going to get creative when we're actually building out our Shopify store, but more on that later. Okay, so it's time to actually build out our Shopify website, and let's just get right into it. I'm going to be using Atlas AI Builder. If you guys want to use it, I'm not affiliated with them. Just go ahead and search up Atlas AI Store Builder. I'm going to install the app right now. And again, I've never used this AI software, so I'm going to be trying it out for the first time. I'm fairly certain that you do have to pay for it. However, cross that bridge when/if we get there. I'm going to copy and paste the link over here, generate store, and then I'm just going to wait for it to actually create the store. Again, it is going to conduct market research. It is going to write sales copy. It's going to create the store theme, and then obviously we'll have our store. So I'll get back with you guys when it's ready. All right, so now I'm just going to pick some images for my store. Now I'm going to pick the color scheme that I want. I'm going to go with this one. Yeah, I like that. Awesome. So I just got the word that the store should be creative. Let's see if it actually is. As you can see, it's importing here. All right, so let's go in and customize the store and see what we're dealt with. Okay, so as you can see, off of first glance, it looks good. Some stuff that we're going to have to change, some images that we're going to have to add. Do not worry, we'll do that. We're gonna have to add a logo. We're gonna have to change some of these menus. All right, let's go check out the product page. Okay, so I don't really like that there's 2 here. I'm not exactly sure why it's like that, but I'll change that, don't worry. Okay, so I'm gonna go in now and I'm going to actually start editing my store, getting everything ready, and I'll fast forward this so you guys don't have to sit through it. So I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, so I'm finally done building out my product page and homepage and my overall website, and I have actually optimized it, and I have configured all the settings in the back end and changed all the menus and made sure I'm ready for payments and so on. So it has taken a couple hours of my time. It has gotten a little frustrating at times because sometimes Shopify can be finicky, but I'm done finally, and I just want to show you quickly the homepage and the product page, and I'm not really going to talk too much on it. I'm really just going to scroll and show you guys exactly what we have here. So there's a product banner, there's an as seen on, an image with text, some benefits with some icons, more benefits, some testimonies, more testimonials that you can swipe through here, why we outshine, 30-day guarantee, and then a frequently asked question, and then you get into the footer. Moving on now to our product page. And again, I'm really just skimming through this because at the end of the day, I really did just use Atlas AI, and then I went ahead and optimized it and make sure that everything was really up to my standards. So some aspects like the price and some of the images I did go ahead and change or add. My logo I created in Canva. But again, these are all things that you guys can do. Atlas really just took the wheel for this. And so the only thing that I did in this section that Atlas didn't do was this volume bundle. However, Atlas AI does have an option to create bundles for you. You just need to pay for a plan that costs, I think, $20 on top of like the base plan, and I didn't need to because this is a free option, and I was able to use the same color codes and basically do the exact same thing just using a free app instead of Atlas's additional $20 for essentially one aspect that is really not needed for me. So I did that on my own. But then again, here you go, the product page. None of the images are actually blurry. It just happens when I'm in the configurator, and there it is. Okay, so now we are finally ready to actually build out our ad creatives, and then from there we'll be able to get our campaign ready and then launch it on TikTok. Hopefully we'll be able to launch tomorrow. So let's see. Okay, so now it's time to build out our creatives for our TikTok campaigns, and there's a couple things that I want to go over. The first one is that you can't just directly steal other people's content. So you can't download one video and then upload that to your campaign. You need to do at least some type of editing to actually make it a little bit unique and a little bit your own that you can then use for your campaign. Now, the second thing that I want to touch on is we want to have anywhere between 3 to 6 creatives. If you want to make more to do additional testing, go for it, but at a very minimum, you need 3 creatives to actually be able to run your campaign and test to see if your product actually works. The reason being is because oftentimes maybe your hook isn't captivating enough, or the content within the video just isn't compelling, and it doesn't make the viewer want to click on your link and actually buy from your website. So you need to have between 3 to 6 creatives just in case 1 or 2 or even 3 of them don't work. Well, you still have others that you can fall back on, and hopefully those are converting. Now, how do we actually get into creating these ads? Well, it's super simple. For starters, you're going to go to the page where you found your product. Now, in my case, it's going to be Yummy Pet 001. And as you can see here, they have hundreds of videos that have gotten hundreds of thousands of likes that we can just take their videos, insert them into CapCut, and make our own through their content. So they've already created the content, they have the product. I don't really want to buy the product and ship it to my house and then create the content, because then it's just going to take so much longer, and I don't really have that kind of time. So I'm just going to take their content for the meantime and try and scale the product that way. Now, eventually, if the product is scalable and it does make us a good amount of money in profit, then yes, okay, I will order the product and I will hire people to create awesome UGC content. Now, that's for a later date, so we're not going to worry about that right now. So in order to actually get your videos downloaded, you're going to need 2 things. The first is obviously your TikTok page loaded up, or your competitor's TikTok page. In this case, again, I'm using Yummy Pet 001. And the second app that you're going to need is sssstick.io. What this is essentially a free website that you can basically insert the link, and it'll allow you to download the video for free with no watermarks. And the reason you need that website is because most times TikTok sellers are smart enough to turn off video downloading so others can't steal their content. Well, we've gotten around that by using sssstick.io. So for sure you need those 2. Again, this website is completely free. You don't need to pay. So if it's telling you that you need to pay, do not pay, or simply just search up free TikTok downloader on Google and find one through there. All right, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm probably going to download anywhere between 10 to 15 videos that I like, and then I'm going to throw them all into CapCut and I'm going to try to make some different variations. Now, I'm going to speed this process up so you guys don't have to sit and watch it, but I will show you guys the final product so you can see exactly how my creatives look. For this example, I'm probably going to create between 3 or maybe 4, depending on how I'm feeling, so let's get into it. Okay, so after about an hour of editing and coming up with ideas and adding captions and so on, these are the 3 creatives that I'm going to be using. The last one I'm especially excited for, so I'm going to show you that one last, but let's go ahead and actually watch each ad.
Oh
So as you can see, for the first one, I hooked the audience with a funny, cute little video of a dog that was just falling off a water slide, and then I actually got into the video. And I also added some text overlays just to give some benefits of the product. All right, moving on to the second ad.
Struggling with pet hair all over your clothes, carpets, and blankets? This is the fastest solution. Just a quick swipe and it picks up pet hair, lint, and dust in seconds. Works like magic. I've linked it in this video, so go get yours before the sale ends at midnight.
Okay, so for that one, it was just a little bit more straightforward and to the point. I had an AI voice narrate over the video. If you guys are wondering what platform I used 11 Labs, and it is completely free, at least for the purposes of this video, because I didn't need too much text. This was more than okay. And now for the third and final video ad.
My dog has decided to save some money and opted in for grooming himself at home, which is fine by me until I found out how he's been disposing of the evidence. I've tried using a bunch of different pet hairbrushes, and this is the only one that actually works. I use it on my clothes, carpets, and beds to get rid of everything in literal seconds. I'll link the exact glove that I use in this video in case you want to save yourself some time and money.
Okay, so as you can see there again, I had an 11 Labs voiceover through the entire thing, but I added a little bit more of a storyline and I made it just a little bit more engaging for the customer to see. And again, all I did was go on TikTok and find videos that other people had already made. I downloaded them using our third-party software, and then I edited them so I could actually use them in a TikTok ad, and I wasn't just completely stealing other people's content. So now that we have the ads all set up, we can finally start creating our campaign so we can actually start running ads and making money. So let's jump over to the TikTok ads dashboard. All right, so we're finally ready to actually build out our TikTok ads campaign because we have our ads, we have our Shopify site ready, and obviously we have our product, we verified it. So this is the final step. So let's get into it. I'm not really going to show the in-depth walkthrough of exactly how I filter my settings. If you want to watch my in-depth settings for my TikTok campaigns, well, I have another video on my YouTube page. I'll leave it for there. So we're just going to do a sales campaign. We'll do a Smart Plus campaign. We'll just keep it simple for the name, and we'll go Cecil Pet 1. There's no special ad category, so you don't need to worry about that. I'm just gonna click got it. Now we're gonna get into the ad set and ad level. We're not going to use a catalog, so we'll turn that off. We're optimizing for conversion. Make sure you guys enter your pixel under your data connection, and also make sure you obviously set it up on your TikTok side first. We're optimizing for purchase. Our location for this is going to be the United States, and we'll just enter that. Our languages, we'll leave it to all. Advanced settings for placements, you're going to turn off downloading. Our budget for the day will be $100, even though we won't spend all of that. We're going to start running our campaign tomorrow at midnight. Hang on, make sure you're spending ads all day. We're not going to use an actual account. We're going to use a custom identity that I've already set up. Destination URL, we'll copy the URL and we'll paste it in. Okay, so creatives, we're going to add videos or images, and then we're just going to upload them. Okay, so I decided to just have 3 different variants. So sale ends at midnight. This is the best pet hair remover I've ever used. Oh my god. And this is how I deal with my dog's hair. Or maybe we can even go for, we're going to deselect all, and we're going to do order now, shop now, and that should be good. We'll do those 2. And that should be good. All I'm going to do is double check my information, and then I'll go ahead and click publish. All right, and there you have it. So you can see that our campaign is active at $100 budget. And if we go down to ad group, you can see this is the name of our ad group. I just didn't name it. I can change it if I want. Don't worry, it is pending review. That's okay, it'll get approved. And then we have our ads that have no data currently, but that's okay right now. Don't worry about that. And there you have it. In a little bit, these are actually going to get approved, or they're going to get rejected. I don't believe they're going to get rejected for any reason. So in a couple of minutes, they'll be approved and then we'll be ready to go. But there's not much that I can do anymore until tomorrow at around noon. So I'm going to let the campaigns run out for at least 12 hours, and then I'll come back, I'll analyze the data, and then I'll take actions from there based on what the data is actually telling me. So I'll see you guys then. Okay, so as you can see, it's the next day at around 12:46 p.m. and it's finally time to analyze our results. And honestly, I'm a little shocked, and I want to actually explain everything that you're seeing right in front of you right now. So let's get into it. For starters, go back over here. We've only reached 658 people through our campaign. Now, moving over one section, we've had 1,300, nearly 1,400 impressions. Well, what does that tell us? Well, how have we reached 650 people, but we've had 1,400 impressions? Well, that means on average, people are seeing our ad 2 times, which is what the frequency tab over here tells us, 2.11. That basically tells us that people are seeing our ads sometimes 3 times, which isn't really good. Honestly, you want this to be below 1. That way, as many people as possible can see your ad. However, let's keep going and let's see what the rest of the data tells us. Next, we have video view at 100%. Well, only 36 people finished our ad. This isn't something that you really need to worry about too much because, like I said earlier, people have very short attention spans on TikTok, so it's not going to be too common that people are actually going to watch the entire video. Then over here you have the average playtime per video, and you can see here just how short people's attention spans are. It's not even 3 seconds that people are staying on the videos. Now, I do want to preface, I'm at the campaign level, so this is giving me data averaged out between all of our ads, all the videos that we've uploaded to this campaign. Now, overall, we've had 12 clicks. We actually have had more sessions on our website. However, the data that TikTok is giving me right now is at around 12 clicks. Our click-through rate is less than 1%. So this is a key metric here. This is what's called a KPI, or key performance indicator. This is basically telling me that my ad isn't really engaging for my audience because it's below 1%. Typically, you want to see a click-through rate anywhere between 3 to 5%. So this is giving me some key data right here. Now, this is click-through rate for all, and then this is click-through rate for technically the destination, which would be my website, and that's even lower. Scrolling over, you see CPM here, and you see our average CPM is hovering around $24.62. Again, extremely high CPM. This is typically more than double what you actually want it to be, and even then, I believe that $10 CPM is still a little high, but regardless, this is extremely high CPM, which also tells me that my ad creatives probably aren't the best. Moving on, we have our cost per click, or CPC. Now, our cost per click is sitting at nearly $4. And again, what this tells me is essentially per customer or per viewer that clicks from the ad to my website, I'm spending roughly around $4. We didn't get any add to carts or any add to checkouts or conversions at all. In total, we spent under $50. We spent around $34.25. Now, why did I decide to actually stop running this campaign? Well, it's because I took a look at some of the KPIs like cost per click, CPM, click-through rate, the amount of clicks that we got, and the amount of add to carts that we got. And honestly, all the data wasn't really good, and I decided to kill the campaign maybe a little early, but honestly, I think that spending more wouldn't have really done anything. Now, how do you know when to keep the campaign running and when to kill the campaign? Because you don't always want to kill the campaign just because you don't have any conversions. If you see that your click-through rate is around 3 to 5%, and let's say you have maybe 5 or 6 add to carts, maybe one of them reach checkout but no conversions, well, there's still potential for that campaign to go viral if you just let the algorithm learn who your customer is and where they are and how they're scrolling and etc. Right? So if that's the case and you're seeing your campaign look something like that, then I suggest letting it run out for the entire day and making a decision at the end of the day. In this case, the data was just telling me that the customers weren't engaging, the ad wasn't really hooking them, and it wasn't keeping their attention, and then no one wanted to convert on the website, so I killed the campaign. But don't worry, because I've decided that I'm actually going to create a documentary series on this YouTube channel, taking myself from $0 to $10,000 using AI dropshipping. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the drawing board. I'm going to find a different product. I'm going to create better content. I'm going to take the data that I've already gotten, and I'm going to try again. I'm going to stay within the pet niche for this entire documentary series so you guys can actually have an understanding of how I operate from $0 to $10,000 a month. So this is going to be it for the first video, because honestly, we didn't get the results that we wanted. And that's just the truth of dropshipping, right? All these gurus that you see online, when they launch a product and they take it to $1,000 a day within the first 24 hours of launch, it's just unrealistic. Ultimately, you're going to fail. Not every product is going to be a winner, and you're going to need to do some searching. And honestly, this is an amazing start, even though it looks like we've spent $34 plus the cost of the domain, plus the cost of Shopify, plus the cost of Atlas, and so on, and we haven't made any money. Well, that's just the game of dropshipping. If you're looking to get into AI dropshipping, I suggest you at least have a part-time job that you can use to fund this project, because it's going to take you some time. You might find a winning product on the second one, and you might find a winning product on the 100th. All you need to do is continue going and not switch lanes, so you can actually learn how the systems work and what makes customers turn from viewers to buyers. Okay, so that's going to be it for this first video. I'm going to continue looking for products, building out stores, and then in the next video, I'm going to kind of skip through all of the setup process, and I'm just going to be showing you guys the finished product, what product I've chosen, the ads that I've created, and then what the results are for the campaign. So I'm very excited to start embarking on this journey with everyone, and I hope you guys love watching it. If you have any suggestions for this series, then leave it in the comments, because I'd love to hear what your suggestions are, and I'd love to take them into consideration.